Meatball!
Decent amount of control for this Meepo to work with.
They do. I mean, X is kind of another pseudo anti-force staff spell. Sure. Not 100%, but it kind of lets you buy the time and close the gap better. So it works in that sense. Shanks will go down the river. First blood to Carl. So that's pretty much what Blacklist want to see here.
Go for the glimpse back, but a snowball stopped it, and he was just trying to secure power runes for his Kunkka. Not good enough. Palos. Now, he's got some stacks, and he was looking to do those stacks, and then he found a bigger creep. It's going to be AU who's going to die here. Maybe getting the suicide on the Ancients? Not quite. So, this is not a game where Beastmaster...
And the jungle isn't that much faster than lane at this point in the game. If you're doing stacks, sure, but this kind of compresses the map, and I don't really think Carlo can stand down here either. He's just dead. This is really bad for Execration. Because you are accelerating this Furion.
Run down underneath the tower, and you're also accelerating Tim's, right? He's getting, like, he's a
little weird for me, but
I still think he can get it, though. Bosco.
Yeah, this is a really big one.
Sprout's going to be able to separate them a little bit here. Tim's going to come into the rescue, trying to get the battery assault. A couple of poofs do go off. Bosco takes a healthy amount of damage, and Bob is here to make sure that they get the kill. Palos, though, is going to be caught. His lure Meepo is going to go down as Carl cuts in from the side. Gets a little bit of revenge, and might even be able to save... No, never mind. Tim's is very, very dead. They also have that neat combo we just saw there, which we'll probably see more of later on to the game. The X with Upheaval.
I don't think he had to go this early Blight Zone. I don't think he had to play too greedy. I think he could have just bought regen, played the lane with Glimpse into like the level 2 boar, and it wasn't that good an answer for it. Instead, they kind of deserted this lane, and now, you know, just feeding away a level 6 beast kill trying to get the helm.
Step lively now. Your ally is on board.
He steps just a little bit too far forward here. They're going to go for the kill now with a TP coming in of the Clockwork as well. Bob should be dead. You're going to try and buy him some time here. The boat's going to go out, but ultimately Tino's just going to get caught right alongside Bob. Now this is a 2-for-1 special with Blacklist bringing their whole team up here to be able to defend their tower and get 1, 2, and now a third kill with Shanks getting run down by Carl as well.
I don't like this kind of push. I think you have to respect the global ability of the Furion.
AoE Shadow Word with a Meepo?
That's not bad. The problem is this spell is... Does it work when you're dug in?
I don't know. So all I've gotten here so far, hold up, nice shot follow-up after a beautiful snowball in from Carl. I mean, they were just sitting kind of right next to the high ground there.
What are these pushes, man? They're so weird.
Yeah. Palos is going to pop out here and try and go for the Rubik kill with the Meepo. Gets one, but he's surrounded by heroes, so this is a little dicey. If he loses the Meepo here, it's going to be a really big setback. Tries to go for Bosku. Sprout is going to be able to separate the two. Bob does manage to hit the boat there and separate himself from the rest of the enemy team. Palos trying to clean up. Will be able to get Tim's as well. Glimpse? No glimpses. Looks like everybody else from Blacklist. The cores, the important people, do man. It says that it stuns the caster for the duration and turns them invulnerable and hidden. Do you know if the hidden... Oh, hook shot. Catches Shanks. And turn around. Static Storm. No follow-up. It's an Animage game. Of course there's not going to be a fight. He only fights after there's at least 2 lanes of barracks down. Look at him. They dug.
They dig. Oh. Where are they? Dug away. They're back. The rat. Dude, he's the real rat.
I mean, it is a relatively long cooldown. It's 40 seconds.
All right, they're jumping one.
So he's going to lose his Aegis here. That's going to be Meepo life number 1. Tim's went forward, had the X, whether for good or for an ill. Second life of the Meepo. They're going to go for it. The Static Storm trying to protect as much as possible. Catching the AM with a Primal War. They couldn't get him with a snowball save. That's what Carl was hoping to be able to pull off there, but not quite good enough. And now Execration might just end the game.
What are you doing versus Meepo right now? That was your AM BKB big land
with
fight.
a shard on. Oh my god! I actually forgot that was a shard. Yo, let's wait for second Roshan. I need to see that in action. Bling.
Found the Kunkka.
Okay, that's a good pick off. Very nice. Is that a... Yeah, that was their Static Storm. Carlo.
I'm just gonna abandon the fight here. Palos nowhere near this. Says, what were you guys doing there? What the hell is that even mean, dude?
I know. Listen, Avery, you gotta give me something. I feel like Execration is
giving you anything.
All right, well, fine. Don't give me
the golem.
anything. Golem's gonna give it to AU.
Yeah. Oh, the reverse X
Oh,
though.
the stolen X again. I
Where's
mean,
your
you know,
third?
AU, he can at least walk away with his head held high, you know? He's like, well, I.
The thing is, I don't even feel like Palos has had to much, honestly. Like, there hasn't been any crazy fights he's had to micro his ass off to win, or they're just kind of head-on-man fights. Here's another
Go
one.
for it. Dagger immediately as a response. Raven has his BKB going, and he tried to go for the kill on Tino, but it's not nearly good enough. Now we get roared up again. Palos doesn't care about that, though. He wanted to go for more. Went for Bosku. He BKB, TP'd out. AU's going to be caught. So they'll get the two supports out of that initiation. Another fight that Blacklist tries to jump in.
Big game. He just punished the hell out of these three cores. They got nothing on this guy. Yeah, no
Palos is going to go above a 50% win rate with Meepo. As long as they win this fight, which it's looking pretty good, Raven can't even do anything. He can't even go in. The Meepo is just too terrifying. And now they're both going to be caught. Him and Bosku. Raven mantas and managed to blink out, but now
I think they're doing
inbound.
negative damage to this guy. By fighting him, they're healing him more than...
Yeah, his HP pool is actually pretty massive now, thanks to all the hits he's been doing with Ransack.
Yeah, that's it. That's the game. Golem are on top of it. I forgot about that one, but people had like 3,500 HP at the end. With
Yeah.
multiple attack speed orbs and multiple...
A trend with this hero, yeah.
telling you, his level 1 is so bad now. It's just so bad.
Remember when he was like the strongest hero in that first 30 seconds of a lane? First blood goes to Tim's in the top lane as Shanks.
I don't mind playing Slark into NS, but I also wouldn't mind using this AoE silence to get you into that late game. That's how I view it.
Okay. Okay, I'm glad you broke it down that way, because I was like, yeah, like the AoE silence is good. And
What's wrong about that? That sounds amazing. And you'd be horribly incorrect. Because it's on an item that effectively has no active in the fights.
Last hit comes in from Tino. Well, Palos does a good job of sneaking his way through, but right now this lane is pretty difficult. He's just about to hit level 5, doesn't have his ultimate. Pull back here onto Tino. More pickoffs, Blacklist. They've reached a point, not only did they do...
So they can move the Kunko around, kick the Slark out of lane. It's going to open up some space for this Rubik ET to get a lot of the levels they so desire. Another quick rotation back to mid from Carl here, and looking for the 2-for-1.
Yeah. Gonna die again as the big hit. This was just a bait. Bosku was playing pretty forward because Carl had the haste rune to make the counterplay here, and they'll get the kill on Disruptor, not the kill on Palos that they're hoping for. So props to Palos for
Go for Tino, and he's gonna ult and try and clear off the waves. It's not even a fight happening. Other than Palos getting run
He
down.
needs these creeps to die so he can get his level 6. It's just not gonna happen. Well played by Black.
Oh yeah, he definitely stacked this right here. That's juicy.
Ooh, regen snagged away by Carlo, but of course he's probably giving up his life to get that small little win over Carl, and in exchange receives a big L.
Earth Splitter already out, lower cooldown. Smoke from Execration trying to find Slane, but they don't have a blink on this Tiny or anything. You just have to run in.
Completely
He
missed
goes level
Avalanche,
forever.
and now the counter stomp with the beautiful Earth Splitter coming in. That hits on 3. Shanks is already dead. Carlo's probably going to get caught up in this. Anybody? Any more disables? No, but they don't necessarily
But the
care
hammer.
much. Get the tier 1 tower, another hammer kill. My God, this Meteor Hammer is just doing so much in this game.
He's slowly convincing me.
Yeah.
That was sarcasm.
Avery's humor is so dry that he...
Because they warded deep, and then they just lost all the wards. If you look at the map, a bunch of red sentries that killed everything.
Tino didn't pull the EX back in time for the Earth Splitter, but they still had some other spells, and Dino, especially with Tim's, having still...
Fights. Execration kind of want to give it to him here. Working.
Taking a around on the side, getting the pick off on Bosku would be a really nice start, but they don't quite have the damage. The overgrowth doesn't hit Bosku. Tino's going to try for it now by himself. Bosku going back in with the silence. That was crazy. Okay.
Not amazing, but you'll still take it. And of course, Tiny Blink getting you a big core initiation. Pretty much what Execration are looking for. They get to regain their triangle control, push some lanes in. Double damage spawns for Raven. Can do anything with it as Carl finds another soul to add to Davey. Get him at all. And they
Stomp.
have this moment with them in time.
Carlo is going to be caught with a spirit-giving vision. Carl gets close enough to hit the X, and Carlo will be brought low by the Night Stalker.
With a hammer of justice.
It does kind of feel like Blacklist. Oh, nice grab there, Bob. With the high ground toss back onto Carl. That's going to force him to use his BKB. He's actually going to go for the kill on a Bob here with the X-Bow. And now the Night Stalker coming in. Bob is actually going to die, and Palos barely gets away. Fortunately, the Glimpse sent the Night Stalker back, and so the crippling fear ran out, and Palos...
It's a lot.
Radiant's middle tower.
Tino teleporting out. Void's going to stop him. Crippling Silence is also there. I'm honestly... There's a whole host of abilities, and he's going to get Meteor hammered in the corner. Damn. Meanwhile, though, AU gets low, but Palos Overgrowth goes out. Sure. Do they have the follow-up, though? They try the Savage Room. It's still not enough. The Living Armor is going to go down. Bob will finish him off with the Haste Rune that he's still rocking.
Gucci. That's pretty nice overgrowth. Only you're getting one kill off this fight during daytime. I don't think it's enough here for their Execration. Especially if you lose the Slark.
He's stuck at the crippling fear. Slark is dead. This is looking really bad. I mean, Blacklist, we talked about how, you know, they're not necessarily the team to choke you. Huh? This is a very early game item progression. This is kind of like, you know, ending the game now sort of play. Toss back onto the Rubik. That's a decent opening with the Avalanche over the top. It looks okay, but the double BKBs go out with the Overgrowth, allowing Execration to be able to reset a little bit, and they got the kill on Tim's without losing anybody. Not bad. Can they get more? After all, it's daytime. Might as well go for it. Missed the Avalanche, but still got the toss back onto the Terrorblade here. He has Aegis for 2 minutes, though. Was this really the target you were hoping for? Execration quickly realizing that this was not
the hammer.
And got canceled. Oh, we got canceled. The
end of a single tiny combo. That's it. Everything else is right click here. So, are you gonna be able to combat this Butterfly Terrorblade with BKB?
Well, they got him.
Second Aegis.
They got him just before the blink, so the X back pull on to Bob is guaranteed kill. And now it's nighttime once again with no Tiny. You're talking about
the physical. Maybe Execration looking to stall out the timing and try and take some engagement here.
Just trying to stop Raven, but yeah, there is no damage whatsoever, and they're just going to get caught by the X. Execration. Tino going to be saved by the shard that was picked up by Palos, but they're going to pull him out of it with that tidal wave. Static Storm looked okay, but there's just golden heroes everywhere. 3 BKBs going off the hammer onto Shanks. That'll show him. Bob, he tried to go in from behind to be able to catch some of the supports, but just gets spotted by the Night Stalker with Dark Ascension. And okay, let's go high ground. Apparently no need for a butterfly.
Yeah, I said 3 or 4 minutes. It was more like 3 or 4 seconds. I just gave him the fight here in a triple BKB, and they are getting an Omega punish. Got slept on this as well.
Minutes in history. That's just incredible. You know, like when you start getting into that mindset, that's what success is. Then, you know.
Okay, but then sell it. Why are you carrying it around?
Well, he hasn't been to a shop yet, and if he goes out of his way to go use it, but he's still stuck inside the Sprout. Finally gets through. Raven is still the big bad boss of this push, though, and they haven't dealt with him yet. Shanks, another 5 seconds, another toss back. This time out of 10, they're going to pop the Dark Ascension. They'll fight for this one. Telekinesis onto the Tree and Protector. They go for the kill. They get that one. Palos need to reset a little bit here. Another glimpse back, and the Night Stalker caught by the Overgrowth. Immediate BKBs go out from Blacklist, though. Oh, and a good Sunder, a beautiful one as Bob tried to go for yet another toss back. Time and time he was getting it, but that time
that base off that initial toss, some sprout or anything, and forces BKB and overgrowth it, might have been able to win this fight. They're still going to try and clean it up here. Getting some stacks on Palos. Still has BKB.
Yeah, no meta. They can't let him go. Even if he has Aegis, they cannot afford for Blacklist to be able to reset for free out for this one.
I mean, there's no Anasolt and no BKBs here.
No BKB, no meta. Hold him in place. Kinetic Field, just play it slow. Execration can win this if they just play it slow. Palos needs to be careful not to die. Nice toss back Avalanche. That's a pretty good combo. Raven, he does have a Thunder, but doesn't have any to target except for an ally. And he does use it to be able to go back up to full health. Are they out?
No way.
No way.
Kunik on top of it, so he has a lot of evasion here. Even harder to get the stacks. You get hit here to get stacks if you're Palos. Start hitting your team. I don't know.
That was Raven's idea with the Sunder anyway. Tino gonna be blasted. Didn't have, oh, no, they do have detection. There's a gem up there. Thanks to Bosco, but they couldn't really target the Aegis quite as well as they want. Right now, Palos is in pretty deep here, trying to go
that's a good stall.
stalled up again by the stomp. Now
really
hitting the
stall.
backline heroes, but it stopped the Slurk as well. So Slurk's not even getting anything done while the team is being dove. He comes in through now, but he gets blocked out with the bounce, and that is just game over. Blacklist, I mean, they got Meatboat in game one, but we both kind of agreed that was a drafting win for Execration. When it came to execution, definitely feels like Black
is going to get, because NA is going to pick Timber in the games where like, oh, this is a free Timber game, and it's going to get destroyed on lane and not be able to do it. That's such an NA classic, right?
Dino, the final shot comes in from Raven. Team. Yeah, seriously, that is a gigantic wave. I mean, at bare minimum, Carl's gonna do some hefty damage to this tower.
Well, I said maybe they can stalwart Carl's Kunkka ownage, but it doesn't look like it's going much better, to be honest.
And top is not going super well either. Shanks is gonna get picked off as the battery assault runs.
Everybody mid for this push.
And as long as you can, it doesn't necessarily need the kill, right? As long as you can zone him out, keep getting damage onto this tower, that'll feel pretty good. Axe marks the spot, pull back into the boat. And Shanks is probably going to die here, but they might be able to get a return kill as AU is going to drop pretty low. Both the supports do fall. Now for the second part of the team fight. Let's see where Bob goes with... Trout Ranger's going to run into Tino. That's not good. Oh, missed the Timber Chain too there for Bob. Tino's definitely going to die here. Bob doing what damage he can, but the Kunkka is just not that squishy and just TPs away as soon as the damage starts to cut a little bit. They do have the Avalanche in from Shanks, so at least they'll pick up the support, but Tino continues to have a bit of a rough...
I like the fact that Execration are playing around this power point and using it for pressure. That is the big upside here. You can always go to the Timber and just start throwing his ult around. I'm going to try and vote him here, but... I don't think they have the damage.
Move to dodge it. Didn't quite work. A hefty amount of magic damage. Not quite enough for the kill, though. Turnaround Chakram. That's not enough to kill Tim's. And in fact, it's Shanks who dies first here. That's right.
To some degree, yes. In the ultralight, this Coddle will fall off and damage.
He has a level. He can queue it up, but I don't think he's going to have a chance to cast it here. Just too low. We'll play a bit more around Bob. They are going to go for this kill, and he is not a tanky Timbersaw in this game. He went Arcane Boots Kaya. He doesn't have any defense against all of this kind of damage, and they pretty easily burst him down.
Bob's going back in.
Imagine if Bob dies again, though.
They don't have both, though. That's a huge amount of damage. The stun is there this time.
They find the Kunkka trying to TP out right next to the tower. That was a curious one. They were kind of setting up for the push, and then Carl realized he was a bit out of position. Goes for a TP, gets spotted, and...
What happens after the speech, right? It's a great set speech. It's motivational, and then if you don't win, I'm going to kill your family. It's like they edit that part out.
If you don't win. Beep. Carlo getting it pulled back into the...
Here. Blink for Shanks. Time to get jumping.
They're going to go right past each other. They've got a deep ward on the Dro Ranger. That's why they're smoking up right now.
Raven, there's a birdie coming for you, son.
Yeah, he thinks it's all clear because his entire team is in front of him in lane. Little did he know that Execration and manages to go straight for the throat of Raven, killing him. But it looks like Blacklist still want to fight this one. They're going to hit the hook shot onto the Tiny here. 4 staff. Is that the 4 staff you wanted, though?
I think that was intended to save the Tiny, but it gets the Clockwork killed instead.
Bosku
And now the
shows up
Timbersaw.
just to leave.
Tower is under
Yeah, he just showed up and it was like, wait a minute.
Later, boys. Good luck.
I'm gonna do a 360 aerial phenomenon or something.
Oh, yeah.
Something like that.
That sounds reasonable. You're the military man. I trust you on this.
Got the Clockwork. Tossed up, arrowed. All right, well, now we're cooking. We talked about early on, we said, okay, this Coddle has some nice combos with the Chakram of both Timbersaw and Tiny running around, getting multiple spells off in these fights, these skirmishes, and it is beginning to come to fruition now.
Tower is under attack.
They are getting there. And this Naga is starting to pull ahead with the map control. Hard done. And they're just getting the pick off.
Straight up, Carl TP's in, and half a second later, he's dead.
What was cute?
Cute,
Cute ah.
Oh, Execration.
No normal Naga items, just rely on the net worth in your team. I don't think that's a bad route either.
Sure.
This is a weird game because he's going to have to fight through long BKB durations, and I feel like whatever makes his illusions. Otherwise, I think Scotty's
He's going the Orchid route.
I don't know if I like Orchid.
Oh my God! What a hook shot! 3 people inside of the cogs with the bow coming in soon. Now they're tanky, but Raven's on the high ground and he's beginning to shred these heroes. Now there is going to be the song going out from the Naga. Bosku activated his BKB, got the Sprout out.
We got out.
Oh, mirror image outside of the Sprout. A lot of damage from the high ground, though, still, though, from Carlo and Tino. They're delivering some magic damage. Toss up. Cogs push him over the cliff, and Bob is going to run interference here. Pullback on the Chakram isn't quite enough to get the kill on Bosku, but they can't. Oh, Tim's, never mind.
Go to sleep.
It's gonna say he was gonna. He may still die, actually. He's pretty slow.
Yeah, that looked a lot better than it actually was.
Yeah.
How does, I mean, if you're, because I feel like once you're out of EQs on Blacklist, if the fight's even, you've lost, because Timber and Coddle are going to take that fight over. They just have way better.
It looks like Palos.
The
hook shot late, but the push out. That was
a good way to like necessarily lock heroes down in a chain stun. So they have to slowly find a core and get a really good multi-shot. In this type of scenario, right? Like Paul's is just setting illusions in, AU's getting poked. There's no clear counterplay here. It's awkward for Raven. Now you're getting
there's the opener. Got the pick off. There was the toss back from on Tim's. They do have a really nice Will-O-Wisp. BKB immediately has to go out. Raven's going to try and deal with the Will-O-Wisp for his team, but his BKB is going to be worn out. That's why he has to force snap up to the high ground. The rest of Blacklist are now going to try and retreat. Another multi-shot. Didn't get the toss back this time. Carl uses his BKB. Hook shot a little bit off the mark from AU. And Blacklist, TI.
1,000 timies.
Tiny.
I mean, are you telling me Jerax didn't spam play that hero at all those TIs?
Another attempt. Honestly, not bad timing. But nobody else was around. Raven was too busy farming up triangle area. He's trying to get a Shadow Blade.
You gotta start.
Another attempted toss back. Telekinesis throw back.
Arrow.
Oh no, but the arrow. Oh,
Raven.
they had an opportunity to be able to get their kill, but Raven runs into an arrow. Unlucky.
What can you do?
They're in. They win this series. They're in contention for being able to go to the major. They lose it. They're in contention for going down to Div 2. That is
Pressure's
a possibility.
on.
Another toss back.
Got the lift.
It's going to be used immediately. They do have the lift and also a hook shot going in. A lot of stuns, but not a lot of damage. Raven is now going to show up here, but he's targeting Bob, who still has that Aegis of Bloodstone to work with.
Double
The
buy.
supports who went in and got their stuns off are going to die like AU. He immediately buys back where he can. Palos.
Damage though.
There is no damage.
It has to be Drow right-clicking people, and she still hasn't used. Raven has not popped this BKB yet. They have not committed to the fight. Another toss back.
Okay, Shanks finally going to die, and they actually got a really good frostbite explosion onto the heroes of Execration. Bob and Carlo took a decent amount of damage, but again, the Will-O-Wisp goes out. Blacklist have to reset around it. Four staff, trying to get Bosku back.
Really deep.
Oh, Bob. Oh, we got it with the double chakram, though.
Sliding away. That's just Mega? No, it's not Megas. They have Rack top. Sorry, I thought we went the whole gambit here, but
Not quite.
looking like Megas.
But soon.
Okay, guys, that was pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Dyer's top
You don't have the answer yet. You just don't. You're looking at relegation.
Come on, Bosku again. Four staff, but it's still not enough. The Orchid pop was
Another
able to get
toss
in. Now they got the toss back underneath the Will-O-Wisp. Perfect move for Shanks, and that's it. GG is called. And Black